Why don't you come along with me to my picture show? Come along, come along, come along, let's go. Oh, I really like to go to the picture show. Come along with me. Do you want to hear a story? I do. Can I sing a song? Come along with me, please do. Why don't you come along with me to my picture show? Come along, come along, come along, let's go. Oh, I really like to go to the picture show. Come along with me. Hi there. Welcome to my picture show. I'm really happy we can be together today because I have a special story to tell you and show you. In fact, I'm pleased to present to you Newton Gimmick's latest invention, the picture wheel projector. It's very simple to use, and I must say, it does work very well. Just pick up the picture wheel and find the arrow. Now, put the wheel into the slot on the projector, making sure that the arrow is lined up with the arrow next to the slot. You should see a picture of the woolly Whatsit giving me, Grubby, and Gimmick a big hug. If you have more than one picture show story, be sure to match your cassette with the right picture wheel. If you're on the wrong picture, or if you've started the tape in the middle, you can catch up by pressing the button on the side of the projector until you see the right picture. Gee, Gimmick is very clever, isn't he? Now we're on picture number 2. Did you ever wonder what it would be like to be different than you are? Imagine if you were bigger or smaller, older or younger, or if you had different colored hair or eyes. But of course, we can't really be something we're not. We're all exactly the way we should be, and that's what makes each of us special. Speaking of special, one of my best friends is the very big and very nice Woolly Whatsit. Woolly is really one of a kind, but because he's so big, Woolly sometimes has problems. One day, Gimmick, Grubby, Woolly, and I visited the elf village. We were helping the elves and wood sprites get ready for their school's graduation day when Woolly first ran into trouble. Here's a picture of Woolly with a big barrel.
Ooh, don't worry. I can carry this big water barrel.
Hey, watch out. You almost stepped on me.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'd better be more careful.
Woolly was so big, he could barely see the elves and wood sprites down below.
I'll just set the barrel down right here.
Whoa! Watch what you're doing, Woolly.
Oh, whoops. I didn't see you, little feller.
When we finished doing our chores, we decided to have a little lunch and a cold drink. Woolly picked up the big water barrel again and started to pour some drinks.
Nice cold water coming right up, everybody.
I can't swim.
Hey, these are my new clothes.
But Woolly splashed water all over the elves and wood sprites. He just couldn't seem to do anything right.
Oh, gee.
What's wrong, Woolly?
Oh, Teddy, I'm tired of being big and clumsy. I keep wrecking things and scaring people.
Those were just accidents, Woolly. Nobody's mad at you.
But I can't even play with my friends. I'm just too big.
Grubby told Woolly to look on the bright side. After all, when you're big, you can eat more. Gimmick pointed out how helpful Woolly was, lifting big barrels and helping move heavy things.
Oh, gee, do you mean you fellers wouldn't like me if I was little?
Of course we'd like you, Woolly, but we like you the way you are, too. But nothing we said made Woolly feel any better about himself. He just didn't want to be different from all of his elf and wood sprite friends anymore. Then Woolly had an idea.
Hey, Gimmick, why don't you make me small with that gizmo of yours, the reducing machine?
Woolly was so sad. We just wanted to make him feel better. So Gimmick agreed to use his portable reducing machine on Wooly. It was amazing! Wooly actually started to shrink. We couldn't believe our eyes. Picture number 5 shows Grubby and I with Wooly. Look how small he was. Wooly was now almost the size of an elf.
Hey, it worked. I'm little, thanks, fellers.
Wooly really did seem happy. But the rest of us weren't so sure about our shrunken friend. Grubby said he liked Wooly better when there was more of him to like. Gimmick told Wooly that if he changed his mind about being small, he could always make him big again with the reducing machine. But then something terrible happened. As Gimmick was walking and talking, he tripped, and his marvelous machine flew through the air and landed on the ground with a crash. The portable reducing machine was broken, and we were afraid we'd never get Wooly back to his normal size.
That's okay, fellers. I like being little. Hey, you elves and wood sprites, wait for me.
Just as Wooly was about to go off and play, Leota the Wood Sprite teacher called all the students together. She told everyone that as part of the big graduation party that was coming, all the students would be putting on a show.
Goody!
Show.
Hey, singing!
Dancing.
Boy, this will be big fun. Little fun.
The students all volunteered to help with the show. Some would write songs. Others would paint scenery, set up lights, or make costumes. But Wooly was having trouble doing the things he'd always done before. The students used to count on Wooly when it came to moving scenery, and Wooly was always the one to help Leota with the heavy piano.
I'll get it for you, Miss Leota. Say, this being small isn't as easy as I thought it'd be. My doesn't sound right either.
Poor Wooly. It looks like he needs help moving that scenery. Leota and the students teamed up to do the heavy chores around the theater, but Wooly felt kind of bad.
Gee, I hope my friends aren't mad at me for not being big and strong anymore.
Meanwhile, Gimmick tried to repair his broken reducing machine. He finally figured something out. He'd need a new Gramble-Stop-It to make it work again. The only problem was, where do you get a new Gramble-Stop-It? Gimmick had made the old one himself, and he couldn't quite remember how he did it. We'd have to go back to Gimmick's house and try to fix it. Well, over at the School Tree Theater, rehearsals had begun for the big show. We're on picture number 8 now. Some of the students were so excited about doing a good show for graduation, they became careless. Someone accidentally knocked over a lantern in the costume room, and a small fire started. Well, do you know what can happen if a small fire is not put out right away? That's right. It turns into a big fire.
Hey, do you smell smoke?
Yeah, and I see smoke too.
So do I.
Fire!
Fortunately, the elves and wood sprites had practiced fire drills once a month. They all knew the proper exit doors and how to act in an emergency. Almost everyone got out right away, but a few students were still trapped inside on the top floor of the theater. And one of them was Wooly. See Wooly and Leota in the theater?
Don't worry, I'll think of something. I hope.
Now Wooly was sorry he'd changed the way he was. He knew the fire would have been out by now if he were his normal, huge self.
I'm scared, Wooly.
Me too.
Gosh, I hope all the other kids got out okay. It's my fault. If I were still big, I know I could put the fire out all by myself.
A group of wood sprites flew through the flames and up to the window where Wooly and the others were trapped.
Hey, we're in here.
With Wooly's help, they managed to carry the trapped students to safety. But even the shrunken Woolly was too heavy for them to lift.
Oh, that's okay. You guys save yourselves.
The Wood Sprites were determined to save Woolly. 4 of them teamed up and lifted Woolly in the air.
This is fun.
Meanwhile, Gimmick had just finished making a new Gramble Stop It for the portable reducing machine, and it was working perfectly. But we quickly forgot about that when one of the Wood Sprites flew in through the window. She had come to tell us about the fire and to ask for our help. A fire? At the school tree? In the theater? Gimmick, let's get the airship. We packed up the portable reducing machine and headed for the elf village. The flames from the fire were still shooting into the sky as we circled the school tree and landed. Quick, everyone, grab these buckets. Since we were bigger than the elves and Wood Sprites, we were able to pour lots of water on the fire. A bucket brigade of bugs flew in from the forest to help out too, but the fire was still burning. Gimmick, why don't we use the reducing machine to make Woolly big again? Then he could carry the big water barrel down the hill. We could put out the fire much faster if that water were close by.
Good idea, Teddy.
Gimmick aimed the machine at Woolly, and in a second, he was back to his normal size. There's Woolly in picture number 11. Woolly charged up the hill and lifted the big barrel over his head. But instead of bringing the water over to us, Woolly charged toward the burning building and poured the whole barrel of water onto the fire.
That ought to do it.
Yay! Hooray for Woolly! The fire was finally out. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the fire had done a lot of damage.
What a mess.
Our show is ruined.
Come on, don't be like that. We got a whole day to fix everything. And now that I'm big again, we can do it lots faster.
Everyone worked together to rebuild the theater. Some of it would take months to fix, but with a lot of work, we thought we could fix it well enough for the show the next night. And sure enough, just before showtime...
Hey, we did it, everybody!
I can't believe that everything's ready. It seems scientifically impossible, doesn't it, Gimmick? The show was about to start. Woolly helped get all the sets into place.
Hurry, Woolly. It's time for the air ballet.
Okie dokie.
The Wood Sprites air ballet was beautiful. In fact, the whole show went really well. Then it was time for all the students to sing the special graduation song.
This year at the school tree has been really fine.
I learned how to read.
I learned how to sign.
They learned about each other and what they can do.
And Leota, dear teacher, we owe it all to you.
It's been an amazing school year.
We started with the alphabet and then we learned addition.
Soon they were reading novels and performing long division.
What we didn't understand at first, we always kept on trying.
They studied basic algebra
And elementary flying.
and Grundo history.
Sometimes we studied hard, and sometimes even harder. We were smart right from the start.
But now they're even smarter. They
Learned important things, like 1 and 1 make 2. And we learned to like ourselves and do the best that we can do.
Finally, Leota passed out the graduation diplomas. The first one went to someone who had overcome many difficulties during the school year. Someone who showed everyone at the school that whether he's large or small, his heart is very, very big. My friend, the Woolly What's-It. See? The last picture shows Leota giving Woolly his diploma.
Oh, gee, Thanks, everybody.
We were all very proud of Wooly for learning to just be himself. Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing about Big Little Wooly. Please join me for another picture show. Bye-bye. Why don't you come along with me to my picture show? Come along, come along, come along, let's go. Oh, I really like to go to the picture show. Come along with me.